Well, good morning. Today's not such a fun subject, but let's get into it. Well, all right. I want to talk about pesticides and chemicals. Before I get too far, I'm going to tell you what I use, and I don't use a lot of it. I use a little bit of Seven Dust when green bean plants are little. In my part of the country, the chewing insects just destroy them. So a little bit of Seven Dust when they're little, and then that doesn't, as soon as they get to growing good, the bugs don't bother them so bad. I don't have to use it. And then I do use a little bit of that same stuff on when the corn starts to silk. Just put a little bit on the silks. That isn't something the bees are attracted to, so it doesn't hurt them. And of course, that's the main thing you worry about. It just keeps you from getting earworms. Okay? Most things I try not to use chemicals. If I can control squash bugs by little soapy water spray and just using a little bit of planting a few marigolds around and passive things like that, I do it. Not because I'm really an organic gardener, but more because, less is more and it's cheaper. And gardening just shouldn't be that expensive. Okay, now here's the main thing. And there's some stories going around YouTube. Now, I've bumped into it a couple of times about a chemical that farmers put on their hay meadows. And it's a broadleaf chemical, takes care of broadleaves. But the problem with this stuff seems to be it stays. It doesn't break down. It doesn't go away after a little while. So, one gardener that I watch, in fact, I just haven't watched him for very long, started watching him. Guy's pretty good. It's called Black Gumbo. It's down south, I think, Texas. Not sure. But he had bought hay that he'd brought in from out of state to use for mulch. Now, this hits me pretty hard because I generally buy baled hay, baled straw to put on my garden for mulch. That's a big deal. And I'm a roost out gardener, so, I buy a lot of that in the spring. Well, apparently this had this product on it. I think it's a product called Graze, and it killed his garden. And he's talking about it'll take a couple of years to remediate it out of the soil. He's got to plant grass crops. You can use corn because that's a grass basically. But hey, you don't know. You probably wouldn't want to eat it. Maybe you would. I'm not sure I'd feel good about it. But you know what I mean? It's a couple of years of lost production for him. At least a couple. Now, and I've heard another YouTuber here a while back, this lady, that she'd purchased from a local company some soil to fill raised beds. It had compost in it, and it had, bad chemical in it, and she, had to have it completely redone. I guess they were nice about it, came out, removed it from her beds, and brought her in some more stuff. But, got to be careful about these things. I don't know very much about it yet. Still learning, but I wanted to warn everybody, give everybody a chance. You got to know kind of what you're putting in your garden and what you're putting on your garden. So I know what I'm going to do in the future. I'm going to see if I can't come up this summer with a yard sweeper that I can pull behind my garden tractor. My property is almost an acre, so that way I can mow, sweep that up, use that for mulch, and not have to buy not have to buy stuff that comes off the farm. If I do, I'm in a small enough community that I can probably find out. I can probably make sure the guy I'm getting it from that, that's not been done. So that's the crux to the situation. I'm standing here next to the girls, and they're clucking around and causing trouble. But that's what I wanted to talk about. I want you to make sure that you're not, that none of you guys get in that particular predicament. And I don't want to get in it myself. Now, I've had a year or two of where I really had poor growth and really didn't have a good explanation. So I could have gotten a hold of a little bit of something like that. I'm just not aware of it. So that's what I'm doing in the future. Be careful, because like I say, if you get into that stuff, it stays there. It doesn't break down. It doesn't go away. So, it can pretty well ruin you, at least for quite a while. So y'all have a good day. Y'all have a quality day. And I hope next time I come up with something a little more fun to talk about. I don't want, we want to have good gardens and we want everything that's healthy to eat, to come out of our garden. I do this because I like to produce food. I want to grow my own eggs. I want to produce meat rabbits to eat. And I want to produce good food out of my garden, and a lot of it. So this is just something extra to be careful about. Okay, thank you.